So thanks for those who are already in the call. And today is the first day of the IN-4-AHA matchmaking. IN-4-AHA is the innovation network for active and health aging. It's a EU-funded project, coordination and support action that aims to connect ready-to-use solutions in the active health aging between need owners and solution providers, and to connect companies between many countries and regions. It started in 2020, so it's fairly recent coordination and support action. What else? This week we have the sessions of showcases where we present companies that have implemented active health and health aging solutions. And in the afternoons, we will present you webinars with content that could help you and guide you on implementing new solutions. Between the showcases and the matchmakings, we have available slots for the matchmaking, for meetings between the participants. So you just need to go to I don't know if it's in this side or in that side, but you have the menu with your program, and you can schedule meetings with other participants, and you can block your calendar if you need to prevent someone from sending invites because you have other meetings. The platform is fairly easy to use. You mix with it a little bit and you will be comfortable using it. So today we start with Key2enable. I will present you José Rubinger. He's the co-founder of Key2enable, which has an amazing solution. It's a very beautiful to see what they are doing. And José, feel free to talk. The event is yours. Please, thank you. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you so much, Rafael. It is an honor for us to introduce our solution, to present our solution. And my name is José. I'm from Brazil, and we started in Brazil, but now we have some operations in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, in UK. We also have some in Portugal, Chile, and also in the US. So what I'm going to do now is we will present what is our solution. It's for children, it's for students, it's for seniors, for young people with disabilities. So let me share my screen. Okay, can you see the screen in full size? Okay. So the company is called Key2enable, and what we say is that we are revolutionizing the education of people of determination. Why people of determination? People of determination is how they call people with disabilities here in the United Arab Emirates. And our mission is to build the path for people of determination or people with disabilities to thrive, to expand their creativity, their critical thinking, to make them communicate, develop their skills and talents, which will make them feel empowered and independent. But it seems that I got this from Google, right? Let's see if it's really working. And here we will see Amanda. She was born with cerebral palsy, and she's teaching Sophia. Sophia does not have any disability. Amanda cannot hold a pencil, she cannot speak, but she's teaching Sophia. And this is happening because between them, they have something that calls the attention of Sophia and, of course, Amanda. So usually they live in two different worlds. But when we put the solution, they can play together. This is very important. And another very important thing is that the solution was created and idealized by this man. He was born with cerebral palsy. He's from Brazil. And he graduated in computer science using this head pointer. And you can see here that we created what we call KeyX, and here he's using the first prototypes. It took him 7 years to graduate. That's why he came up with an idea of a different keyboard that could make him better access technology. Here is the KeyX. You can see that it's a 9-color keyboard with spaced buttons that have some symbols. And the way that it works is that it needs 2 sequences to type a letter. This is the way that it's easier for them to do it. So if you want to type the letter A, for example, you just need to touch the blue button where the letter A is. But for the letter A to show up on the screen, you have to go to the yellow. If you want the letter B, you have to type the blue symbol plus the ray or the orange symbol. So in a 2 combination, you can do it. Let's see how some kids are doing this. Before, let me tell you that when we went to the schools, we saw that many of these people, they could not even touch the keyboard. So we created some other accessories that makes it possible. For example, a person who only blinks, they can also use our keyboard, so they can navigate in a computer, in a tablet, and write. And the same, for example, someone that has just a very, very gentle movement, they can also use the solution. I will show some users here so you can understand a little bit more. So here is a person, for example, that can only touch a switch, that can only touch a button. Her name is Luisa. We taught her how to use the solution, but she could not even touch the keyboard. So by only touching this button here that is on her lap, she is able to write, or to, in this case, she wrote her name, but she can do whatever she wants in the computer. Remember, this is an extension of a keyboard. So you can do whatever you do with your laptop keyboard, you can do also just using our solution. Here is someone, for example, that can only blink. In this case, we have Daniel. His only voluntary movement is the blinking of his eyes. He cannot move, he cannot speak, but this didn't stop him for using the solution inside a regular classroom. And here he's learning Photoshop together with many other students without disabilities. And it was not something that someone asked him to do. He decided, because when we give these solutions to them, they have the power to do whatever they want. Here is the balloon that I told you. It's just for gently movements, for example. You can put this in many parts of the body. So even with just one simple movement, I can make someone use the computer. It seems that it's very complicated, but here we see Abdullah. It took him no more than 5 minutes to write for the first time the name of his teacher. So you can see here, we were conducting a workshop here, and she asked Abdullah to come, and she taught him how to use it. This keyboard here is in Arabic, so we have many languages. And by touching the colors and symbols, he is able to write. He never used a laptop because the other keys, he could not type very well like he's doing here. So it's the first time that he's writing. Here we have some success stories, like people, for example, that could not access technology. Now they are able to write their own books. So we have Alison, does not speak, he cannot walk, and he cannot even hold a pencil, but he's a writer. The municipality in Brazil is publishing his books. It's not only for children. So here we have Marina. She decided to study, and here she used the computer to go to the university, and she graduated in journalism. Now she has a blog. She is writing her books also. For seniors, we have a platform that we connect the keyboard, and here we have the first Google certificate for a person with disability in Brazil, a senior that was not able to do this before. So we have this educational platform for people with Alzheimer's, for example, dementia, that we connect the keyboard, and it's easier for them to do tasks and activities. Here we can see, for example, Mr. George in Brazil, and also Dona Regina. Here is the educational platform that we are using. It can also be used by children with autism or any other intellectual disabilities, and even for gifted individuals. Here, I love to show this because this is how inclusion works. Julia was not inside the classroom, but now she's inside the classroom and she's learning together with the other students. Not only learning, but she's also playing. So it's a way that we can make people that could not play before because they cannot hold a joystick or something like this. Now with the solution, they can do it. She was the best math student in 2016 and 2017 among all of the other students. Here is the platform that we use. And I will let my team member, Isha, to talk to you a little bit about using the solution for seniors. Just a second.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Isha Khurshid, and I'm originally from India, and I've recently joined Key2enable in the capacity of their Chief Visionary Officer. My qualifications are in psychology, so I've been a therapist primarily for special education and for people with disabilities. Once I joined Key2enable, what we also wanted to really focus on was seniors. And again, this is a very personal matter to me as well, because my grandmother has been diagnosed with advanced dementia and Alzheimer's. So we recently as well joined in partnership with one of the support groups here in the United Arab Emirates, which supports individuals and seniors with Alzheimer's and dementia, and my grandmother is part of that. So we are testing out our solution particularly for them. So as we all know, with time and with age, we start losing a lot of fine motor skills. We start losing a lot of, frailty comes on board as well. So in association with that, what we've also noticed is, tremors and other associated diseases as well that comes with age affects a lot of individuals with motor disabilities as well. So this solution particularly is not only for disabled individuals, but here in the United Arab Emirates, we also call people of determination, and they include seniors as well, which is very, very interesting. So in terms of people with Alzheimer's and dementia, when we start noticing that they start losing the capacity of just doing day-to-day, chores, forgetting things, and they were good at reading and writing before, these individuals, were used to have a lot of independence. And especially when we are now living in a world which is so technologically advanced and, everything is so digital. I think the main crisis also kind of hit us is when the pandemic happened. What about all of those seniors who had now become so isolated, and the world had now changed where everything became very, technology friendly. You're ordering your groceries online, you are, connecting with people online, and it was just a whole new different world. I mean, in our own household as well, and while we've been doing this pilot project with my grandmom, as well, we noticed that for her to even find letters on a traditional keyboard is really hard, or for her to, by the time she's able to do that. So when you look at our solution or our keyboard, if I can just pull it up for a moment. So we have it in, various, different languages as well. So we've kind of created it in such a way which kind of appeals to a lot of people. It lights up. There's an immediate call to action for individuals with, across different disabilities. With older individuals as well, everything is so put together, and it's just 9 keys. So they're easily able to identify, because, for example, if you want to ask somebody where do you find A, so they're going to look for A right here. And right next to that, there's another prompt of another symbol, which allows them immediately to know what to do next. So that really, really assists people or older individuals as well. Now, like José had mentioned initially as well, is that I want you all to imagine our solution as an extension of a keyboard, right? So whatever you would be able to do with your traditional keyboard and mouse is what you can actually do with our keyboard as well. So that's very, very interesting. Not only is it for, literacy, think about emails, think about just going to Netflix and watching a movie. You know, you can do absolutely any function. Another interesting thing, again, with seniors and older individuals, not only people who may be affected with cognitive difficulties, but we're also looking at individuals with motor difficulties. Now, we're thinking about tremors, we're thinking about frailty, we're thinking about people who take time to actually reach forward, you know, muscle wasting and all of those kind of associated things. This keyboard, again, you know, it can be configured as per the speed you're at as well. So that's very interesting as well. So I definitely think that this is very exciting for us to test it out, and I would love for individuals to kind of reach out to us and we can share more information to them of, you know, how this really helps. And yes, I mean, if there is any questions someone would like to ask, if there's something, you know, associated that comes to your mind that we can assist you or answer more questions, I would love to share more.
Thank you. We'll see if someone wants to send a question through the chat also, feel free. I can monitor.
Yes, I really encourage the participants to kind of make this, you know, interactive and where we can answer questions. You know, sometimes you may think of somebody in your family that could, you know, that you've seen may require this as well. That would help. So that would be interesting. We can do that. So other than just the keyboard, just before everyone, you know, can get ready with some questions, other than that, our keyboard is our nucleus solution, right? So once we kind of moved forward in the rehabilitation centers, we noticed people with more severe difficulties. Now we were looking at, for example, individuals who are not able to use their limbs or were paralyzed chest down. So then we had our other solution which we made was called Calibri, which is quite literally like a little Bluetooth thing that you can, a device that you can just clip on to your frame of your glasses. And those individuals, just with the voluntary movement of blinking your eyes and moving your head, they were again able to use the keyboard, you know, again, for complete independence across all digital platforms. Now, once again, you know, to the participants who are here, this solution, if you have an iPad, if you have a mobile phone, if you have a desktop, it is quite literally plug and play. I mean, it's very economical as well. And that was one of the most important things that, you know, the Key2enable team, you know, focused on was what is the point of creating a solution that's going to help individuals if people can't afford it? So that was a very important thing for us to ensure that as many people can have this. What else can okay, I think we have a question here. Just going to look at it. Absolutely, really good question. So what we actually do is that at this moment now, regarding, I mean, in terms of different health sectors, we have research partners that are associated with each and every pilot project that we curate. So each pilot project, for example, if it's for the educational sector, we actually engage with our research partners who kind of manage interval system recording, for example, for students, which would mean that the more amount of time these individuals are using the keyboard, which also then in turn will mean they're getting more independence. So we calculate of how many functions over time are they able to adapt, which will eventually give them more independence. Because usually with people with disabilities, we usually see them with caregivers or kind of dependent on somebody around them. So this is what we are actually, you know, managing and looking at. So again, if it was to do with the healthcare system, we would again go with, you know, training professionals. We have a software which actually does interval recording. We do trainings with the teachers or primary caregivers first as well, including individuals who are more independent. And then we have a software system as well that does every click or every touch of the button over a period of time gets calculated, and reports are also at the end of the week or at the month, you can get the reports to understand as well. I hope I was able to answer your question, Carolina.
There's someone that raised their hands. Can you, yeah, Carolina confirm it, yes. You answered. Zdenek, I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. Can you speak your question, or can you type your question, please? Let me see. I put you to allow to talk. Yes.
Yes, it was. Sorry, it's me, but I didn't have a question. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's all right.
Okay, thanks.
But I would also kind of like to ask the participants when they chose to join this discussion, did they have anything in particular for the seniors in mind? Maybe we can assist with that. I would love to share a story as well. So we had one of our partners, before we even took it forward for seniors, we had one of our partners in a school where there was a teacher there, and she had actually taken the solution back home, the keyboard back home one day, and we were wondering, you know, why has she taken it back home? Because it's actually for the schools and the students. And later she actually sat down and told us that it was, you know, for her dad who had Alzheimer's and severe Alzheimer's. So through our educational platform, which you can kind of link with the keyboard, which is simple, right? So now what happens is, for example, Jose, can you pass me the mask? And I'm going to take, it's going to take a while before I want to be able to figure out how to do this. Marcelo, this is such a, all right. So what happens over here now is that you can turn this, take away all the other prompts, right? Like, for example, you saw the letters, now you just have symbols and colors. So again, for individuals with Alzheimer's, if you want to just go back to teaching basic literacy and practice. So this again connects with the educational platform, which I think Jose can quickly show it to you as well. Where, for example, it's it's association with pictures and symbols. So on the platform, say, for example, if you had, hard to explain it. Yeah. So basically what the teacher had done, and she had actually started reteaching her dad all the things that he had forgotten, just like you would with early schoolers, right? Like primary schoolers and stuff like that. She also was able to change the tasks on the, yeah, you can show them. So you see, this is our educational platform. And what also happens over here is you can completely create and build tasks, whether it's for children or for seniors. So this is what I was explaining, is that you can actually associate the symbols to different pictures. So what this amazing lady did was she started putting up pictures of the family members, and she would sit down at the end of the day to kind of practice once again with him that, all right, Dad, can you press the symbol to show me which is mom, or which is your wife, or which is your daughter? So it was like a practice. So this definitely, again, you know, helps. Jose, if you can just give them a quick run through of how Expressio works. If just with the mask.
So here, for example, the educational platform, I can transform it into be able to be used with the KeyX. What it asks me here is to connect the KeyX, and now you can see that there are the symbols of the keyboard. So the colors corresponds to the answers. So simple things, for example, like concepts. I can just start pressing this one, and to start, I will press this one. And when it starts, this is the time that we have, for example, or a voice coming and saying and asking who's behind the bucket, or the teacher asks the person, or in the case of a senior, if we have, like, for example, pictures of the family, they can ask, for example, where is your mother? What's the name of your mother? And then we can have the names here, for example. So by putting the symbols, it's easier for them to just connect to the answers. They can associate.
Thank you. So yeah, that was just a quick introduction of how the educational platform again also can be used. How do we exit our stop share? Right. So that's also another way that you can use the educational platform for individuals or seniors who may be losing their cognitive ability and all of those things. With motor disabilities, like I was mentioning, for tremors, for frailty, for people who take more time towards more independence once again, who cannot hold like a tiny little tablet or a phone to find the keys on it. I mean, with my mom, who is close to about 60 now. I mean, I have to constantly increase the size on her phone, and it's still difficult for her to use a tiny phone. So again, you can connect everything. You can, use the keyboard however you wish. It really, really helps a lot. So if there are any other questions from our participants, I'm happy to share more insights. Some maybe personal. Are you international resident assessment? All right. So okay. Again, I just want to clarify, to the participants over here. We have an assistive technology device. All right. So this is, again, not for intervention. It can be used for intervention. It can be used to help these individuals in rehabilitation and intervention to increase their, for example, literacy, or example, it can be used for occupational therapy. It can be used for different forms of therapies as well. But this assistive technology was initially just designed for more autonomy for people with disabilities, again, for seniors as well. So again, this is not my place to give you a complete answer on that, but I'm sure I've taken this question down, and I will definitely speak to our experts who can give you a better answer for that, Carolina. You're welcome. But Carolina, would you like to share with us, maybe you may have something in your mind, or a person in your mind, or a particular therapy in your mind that you think may be associated, so I could get back to you with more details?
I allow you to talk if you want to ask Carolina.
Amazing.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for making this so interactive. We at Risoft, we are a Finnish digital solution provider in elderly care. And as such, one of our digital solutions is based on cognition as well, on disabilities. We specialize in elderly care majorly. So when you said that this was also for seniors, it felt, right on the sweet spot for myself. So I'm just wondering, so in elderly care, inter-eye assessments are a global solution, a universal language for measurement in scales and caps, like I mentioned in my question before. So I was wondering, this seems like a fantastic solution to be promoted between the clinicians who are the frontliners in elderly care. And I was just wondering, and that was the purpose of my question, I was just wondering, how could you maybe have this solution be used by the frontliners, but its results answered or integrated within the inter-eye assessment so that the measurement could be somehow measurable. Thank you so much.
No, perfect, Carolina. I completely agree with you. And that is what we're working towards now through all of our pilot projects as well, is, understanding the efficacy of the solution. So once again, the solution was created for people to connect digitally, to technology in a world that is, evolving so rapidly, where people with disabilities get left behind. And then again, you think about seniors who get left behind or who are dependent on their children or caregivers to be like, oh, could you, I need to use my phone, or I need to use the internet, or to email someone. So the assistive technology was actually built for more independence. But like you said, we are working now towards getting those proper data so that we can understand, okay, how is it actually working with rehabilitation? Can frontliners actually, come on board and, connect with us and use the solution, in a possibly different realm or a different space for sure. So, I mean, honestly, Carolina, we would love to probably partner up with you as experts as well. If, we could integrate the solution together, you could be our research partners who could actually, sit down with us and look at those key points that could be measured in like a short, time. And I mean, we're happy to do that and look at every possible way to make anyone's life better.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to pass it on to José to just kind of any other questions and just kind of tell you a little bit more on our other add-on solutions for the people with more difficult disabilities as well. José, can we also kind of take a screenshot of this?
And if anyone needs to speak, you can raise your hand. I turn you from attendees to participants that can speak, okay?
I also want to show you this solution. This is another gadget that we have just launched. It has a clip here, so you can put it in any frame. So in this case here, for example, I have this fancy glass. So I just put it here for those who cannot even move their hands, but they have a movement of the head. Someone will connect this for them. Just click here. And what happens is, I'm going to show you, just opening again the, sorry, let me disconnect my phone because it's connected to my phone. Just a second. Actually, I can show it in the phone here, for example. Here I will have the possibility to, well, now it's in the computer, okay. So I will, just with the movement of my head, I will share the screen and show you what I can do, for example, in a Microsoft Word. So I just selected here the Microsoft Word. And here I will share. So just by moving my head, I have the full control of anything in the computer. So here, for example, if I want to just mark this, and I want to change the color, for example, I'm doing this by blinking, okay? So I have just done it. And of course, I can do whatever I want. I can change the place of the text. I can save. I have the control of the computer just by moving the head. It was created for those who have paraplegia and tetraplegia, for example, and we are using this with veterans of war. Let me finish it here. We call it Calibri. So any other question? No, this one was from Carolina. Okay.
So I'm saying that you have solutions for education, right? Some things for also entertainment for the kids that couldn't play with modern technologies now they have. And do you have any application on working, because you also enable them to integrate the workforces if they want, if the employer decides to take the leap to adapt the tasks or the interface of some tasks that they have, they could employ someone with disability and let them participate in the workforce as well.
This is a very important statement, because remember that we enable them to use technology. So if in that particular office space, for example, they have a laptop that they need to use, they will just connect this, for example, to that laptop, or they will connect the keyboard to that computer. Because we know that there are many other assistive devices on the market, but sometimes they need to move together with the assistive device to the place that they will work. In our case, we can use the computer that is already in the office space. So we allow them, we enable them to use the technology that is already there. Very important statement. Thank you.
Yes, they don't even need to go there, because with the pandemic, we saw that a lot of companies are forced to adapt to the remote, and being something that could be done remotely, could be some type of evaluation or analysis of the data entry that they could check and see, oh, it's okay, it's wrong, it needs to review. Is a way to put someone that can contribute. Doesn't need to be a complex task, but they can have a meaningful and important place on the company. And for the person with disability would be huge also. They can play, they can learn, and then can provide value for the society. It's a real accomplishment.
This is awesome, Rafael. Rafael will work for us in the next month. Let's work together.
Amazing. And what are your challenges, or what are you looking for as a company right at this moment? You are expanding, or you are innovating technology, changing some things? What are your dreams right now?
Of course, we love to develop technologies, but we cannot only develop them. We need to put them on the market. So awareness is something that we have been looking for. And if you ask me, for example, the next goal, we want to make a country adopt the solution. We have Brazil, that already 450 schools are adopting the solution inside the classroom. So children with disabilities, students with disabilities are using it to develop the skills and to go to next level. They need to learn, because in the future they need to work, they want to work. So internationally speaking, we still do not have a country that has adopted the solution inside the public system. And we are very sure that when a country adopts the solution, and then we have like hundreds of success stories like we have in Brazil, I think that this will be a very important milestone for Key2enable.
Very interesting. It's through the education. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we need to. That's exactly what we need to do.
It's an excellent place to put the seed, because as they grow, they can show themselves. Look, I'm able to provide value. I'm able to contribute. Now I'm producing knowledge, for example. So they become attractive, and they will enter in the workforce. They will show. They will be the proof of concept and the proof of that the solution works.
Exactly, and because it's built in universal design, we have been seeing some children playing together with their grandparents, for example, or father with disability, so they can use the keyboard, for example, to play a game together. And this is very important. This is what we have been experiencing in Brazil. Grandchildren and grandparents playing together. And this has been very, very interesting.
Amazing. If the participants have another question, feel free to ask or raise your hand, and I enable you to speak.
I think I'll put in the chat here some of our information.
Carolina wants to ask. Let me allow her.
Okay, Carolina.
Just to unmute. Yes.
Hi again. I'm sorry. It seems like I'm making a lot of questions.
No, feel free. It's
100
to keep the movement.
Thank you. Well, since you're at that stage with your product, I was wondering, how difficult do you find complying with, different requirements such as HIPAA compliance in the United States and others worldwide?
So in the United States, let me tell you how we started in Brazil, because I think it was one of the biggest milestones that we had. In Brazil, we started selling after the solution was already there, ready to sell and ready to be used. So we started with the end user, with the person with disability. But you understand that it's sometimes very difficult to get to all of them. We have to spend a lot of money in awareness, in social media, and then we have to pilot. It's really very tough. But we did it, and it was a very good experience because we could learn from them what we needed to change, what we need to incorporate, what we need to update, or something like this. Then we decided to go to the schools because teachers were already there teaching these children, and they already know exactly what they need. So when we started going to the schools, then it opened like many doors for us, even inside rehabilitation centers. And because the children are using it at school, so they are still they can also use it at home. So when we went to the US, for example, in Brazil, we started piloting the solution inside the public schools, and the teachers were there to know more about the solution because they were interested to understand if that solution could help them inside the classrooms. In the US, we could not do this because going to a school, it's very tough, it's very complicated, and you need like a lot of paperwork before, and you need research. So if you ask me, for example, the difficulties that we had is because we were already doing a lot of things in Brazil, we did some research, but we could not use them in the US. So now we are starting a research here in the University of Zayed. In the United Arab Emirates, it will be English, of course, and Arabic research. And I think that this will help us to prove that the solution really works. And maybe we go again to the US, showing that report and the, for example, white paper that we will build.
Obrigado.
De nada. Carolina lives in Portugal?
No, actually in Finland, but for some reason, I don't know why I can understand Portuguese.
If you can, let's talk in Portuguese. It's okay. It's better than my English because my English, remember, it's from Brazil. But Carolina, we have a keyboard there in Finland, and we could not. It's a friend that started a pilot there, but then COVID came and we stopped. But if you think that you can help us there or use it, it will be our pleasure. It's in, I think that keyboard is in Finnish. If not, it's in English. It's okay. So we can.
I mean, it's such a beautiful product and it has so much potential. There's fantastic platforms that are government owned, like business.
We stopped hearing you. And the connection is mine. Hello. Hello. It was my
Sorry,
connection,
I
maybe.
think it was inside Hub 71, the place that we are. It's a WeWork. But
I failed too. I think it was or the Zoom or my connection too.
Okay. So if Carolina wants to talk more about the.
Let me allow her to. I think it's connected too. She will connect soon back.
Okay. Yeah, let me. My email here. And if someone wants to get a slot with us using the platform, we will be there during the week. Let me see. I think Carolina is not here, right?
No, she's not back yet.
Okay. If you have her contacts, maybe you can send my.
Yes, yes, I can.
I wrote it wrong. I wrote it wrong. It's not showing her here.
Yeah, she didn't come back yet.
We still have 8 people here, I think, if someone wants to ask something.
Raise your hand or put your hand up or send the questions on the chat.
Here is the switch that Luisa was using. So it's a simple switch, if you want to see it. Any switch we can connect.
Only one interaction or different pressures can
No,
have
it's
different?
just one. It's just an on-off button. So
Okay.
anything like this, you can connect the key. So any other assistive device that is out there in the market, you don't need to put this in the closet. You can use it here. Because sometimes this one does not work very well with that specific disability. But if you put this together with the keyboard, then it works. So that's why we can say that we are very competitors friendly, because we can accept other assistive devices. You don't need to waste that other assistive device that you have. Maybe it's not working that well, but we can use it here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
I think it's not there. If you have like her email and you can send her,
Yes,
I think she registered.
Yes, she's registered. Yes.
Okay.
I share with you. I probably will have the list of all the participants that connected. So I share your email with her. No problem.
Awesome.
And what draw you to Dubai?
What? Please repeat.
What was the reason to go to Dubai? What brought you
that's good.
to install the company there?
So in Brazil, everything is working fine. We have some distributors. We have the schools that are already buying, because in Brazil, we are the only solution that has like the A to Z platform that starts from the beginning, and we have everything. So it's going well. But of course, we were trying already other markets. We first tried Canada in 2019. We were selected by Sebrae and Apex, that it's the agency for internationalization in Brazil. So we were selected to go to Toronto in Canada. And we went there and started like some networking, and we were very decided to go to Canada first. But there, at that time in 2018, there was no incentives, or they were not, for example, helping startups to come and do, like, for example, some kind of investment. And then we received an opportunity here in Abu Dhabi. They were selecting startups that were addressing people with disabilities, and they were giving like an incentive of 4 months for that startup to try here. So they were giving money for the team to stay here, to live here during 4 months. And then I stayed because it worked very well. So we are inside some rehabilitation centers, some schools, some people are already using, and the government helped a lot. And they are very, they really want to do many things for people of determination, as they call it here. And we are a great fit for schools and rehabilitation centers. So we are still here. And I think that it's very important.
Amazing. We only have 5 minutes left, because I think that when it turns 11, or when the time ends, the event will disconnect from the Zoom. So if anyone wants to make last questions, now's the time. I don't know if Carolina will manage to get back, because she's not here yet, but we connect you to continue the conversation later. And if not, I thank you, all the attendees that they are present here to learn about Key2enable. And thank you, José, for taking the time and wishing to participate with us.
I thank you for the invitation. Thank you so much, because we already have some people that wants to talk to us, and it's in the platform.
Great, nice. This is why I want to connect people. Great.
That's awesome.
And for all those who are present, take a look in the program that we have. We use the showcase and the webinars to provide content and to bring interest to the people, and also to help people to stay connected in the platform for the matchmaking, because sometimes you'll forget that you have something scheduled there. So be aware of that. I think that eventually we'll send the emails if you have someone wanting to meet with you. So no need to worry to check the website every 5 minutes. If someone asks you for a meeting, you will receive an email. Just have in mind the timing of the meeting to make sure that you will be there, because I think it doesn't make any email reinforcing that you have the meeting. You have to remember yourself that you have this meeting. You will not receive an alert that the meeting will start in 2 minutes. This will not happen. So you need to remember and put in your calendar.
Perfect.
Okay. And for all the others that are here, thanks for joining us. I think that for you, José, I think that the other session, the webinars, they help with some information about fundings in Europe. I think that there is one related to funding on Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's useful because you can understand more or less how the public fundings from EU works for you to understand, because you may not be interested in you receiving the funding, but also you can talk with some company that would use public fundings to adopt your solution, for example. So it's a way to open doors and to reduce friction. So yeah, I don't have funding to implement all of that, but you have like a financial instrument that could enable you to fund a prototype, a pilot with us, and implement solutions. So lack of money will never be an excuse for someone to use. So I can implement this here because I don't have money. You just need to take a little effort, and you manage to bring it.
That's awesome, and it's in the platform, right?
Yes, to check the webinars. I think that there's 1 or 2 webinars that are related to funding of projects. So make sure to watch them.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, or put someone on your team to watch.
Marcelo. Okay, great.
Okay. You want
Thank you so much.
to talk about Portugal? If you want, we can stay after the meeting. Okay, and we chat a little bit.
Now, for example, it's okay?
We continue. I don't know what will happen at 11, at when the clock turns the hour. I don't know if people will be disconnected or not.
Let's wait. Okay.
Let's wait 1 minute to see what happened, because the first time that I'm using this live with the Zoom and eventually at the same time. So we will see.
Disconnected.
I don't know if people will be disconnected or not. If they are in the platform, they will be changed from the active session. This may disconnect people. Just more a few seconds.
Let me see if we need to register to watch.
No, if you are already on the virtual stage, you just need to click there and watch. No need,
Just
no
click
need
and
for
work.
resistance.
Because
Yes.
Marcelo clicked, for example, and it asked for a Zoom link or something like
It's
this.
because Marcelo was a panelist in this session. But for the webinars, if you are not a panelist, you will not receive this link.
So he will be, for example, today we have one at 6 o'clock. So he will click there and he will be able to watch.
Yes.
The Zoom will appear. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, so very important too.
Well, it turned at 11 and we're still here. Everyone's still connected. So if it's good time for you to talk right now. I can create a new session and we can talk.
We have to create a new session, or this one, for example?
Yes, because it's people still connected. I will disconnect. I will stop the meeting. I will save the recording, and then I connect with you. I send you a link via WhatsApp. Okay.
Via WhatsApp. Okay, perfect. Okay, I wait. Okay. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Ciao.
Powering the innovation for active and healthy aging.